Hi, this is Jerry Lee with Three Sisters Broom Shop. I am the person behind Three Sisters. I want to show you today the tools that I use in making my brooms. There's others, but I will go and show you now the most basic and the most commonly used. I will not be showing you the full-size broom spindle today. I will be showing that later down the road. So in my work, I use a foot brake. I have one that a friend of mine has made for me, and I do sell these. It's called the Matilda, and he's making a winding system. When I first started, I used a tree branch because I didn't know better. I asked my instructor at the time what I should use, and she said something round. So I didn't really have anything like that was round and long. So I went out and I got a tree branch. It worked, I will say that, but it was kind of interesting. So after that, I got myself a dowel. This is a dowel, it's 1 inch around, and I cut it 12 inches long. And I used something like this for a really long time. I was selling these on the website, which is www.threesistersbroomshop.com. SHOPPE is the way the bottom is done, the last word. But anyway, I was selling these for a while until Travis, my friend Travis Green of Green Woodworks, created the perfect foot brake for me. I asked him to recess it in the middle because these end up right on the floor. You can get it's probably a something for a banister, and they're square on the end, and then they're recessed in the middle. And a lot of people use those. I prefer this one because it's what I prefer. It's round, it goes smoothly, and I just appreciate it. Travis saw that in these I was drilling 2 holes. That's not normal on a foot brake. You don't normally see that. The reason I do is because I put my twine through here and I put it in one end and then I go through the other side and bring it out. And it holds the tension to the very last bit of twine. So that's why I use these. These are on the website. These are not. Another thing I use and that you need too in broom making. So you need a foot brake of some sort. Another thing that you'll need is a trimming knife. This is the one that I sell. I print a I print a sheath for these. I have 3D printers, and so I print a sheath. This is after not being able to find a broad knife from Russell Dexter. When I started broom making, Russell Dexter quit making that knife, and there was no solution. So I invested some money by trying many, many things, including 2 kitchen cleavers, which are now in my friend's kitchen. But this knife, the broad knife, has been brought back. And you can see that I use my knives. This is from Russell Dexter, but you can't buy them there. You can buy this at Caddy Supply. And there's a gentleman named Daniel Stoltzmeyer, I believe is what it is. And I don't know that I have his name right. And he's in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and he also sells these. I got this from Caddy. What's important about both of these knives is that they have this safety. Even though I have this knife and I have used it, I prefer this. For me, it's smaller and it's got a bigger cut area. You see how that is and how this one is thin. But this is a great knife. It's just something that I got used to this. I sell these for 22 and I do print the sheath, and these are 34. And it's a nice enough knife that I actually have 2. You need that to trim the top of your broom. You can also use a PVC cutter, and what that does is it will trim the top of your broom perfectly flat. I've never used one, but you can do that. A lot of people do. I like the tops of my whisks rounded. Another thing that I use is when I trim my whisks, you can do that with a pair of scissors, but I ended up getting these scissors. These are by Westcott. That's the symbol there. Fiskars does not make them. I've never seen Fiskars with this. These I got at Michael's craft store and they were $30. You can probably get them somewhere else. I just go there. And what's nice is they're serrated. So what that does is it trims through the broom corn really, really well. Scissors, you can get through there, and I did it for a long time, but it's harder on your hands, whereas this will just take it right off. I use this for trimming the bottom of a whisk. Another thing that's important to me is I have a small little set of snips. I cut my twine with that, and that's about all that I cut with it is the twine. They're a little bit small, and again, I got these at Michael's too, but they're sharp, and that's what's necessary. Something else that I find very necessary because I wrap very tightly on my twines is a pair of round nose pliers. I like this size and not the jewelry size. The jewelry size is too small. The reason that I like these is because I can get on the end of a jerk string, which, where's my jerk string? Which is this. And this is what you use. This is how it comes down. The knot is on the bottom, but you pull the twine down from underneath on the handle to get the last of the twine underneath the already wrapped twine. And in class, I show you how to do that. But I wrap so tightly that I cannot just pull it. Other people call it a jerk string. Or excuse me, that's what I call it. Other people call it a rip cord. And because I wrap so tightly, I can't just get my finger in there and pull it because it's painful. So I get my rounded needle nose pliers and I just pull it with this. The reason that I like them rounded is because they don't dig into the broom corn and damage it. If you have needle nose pliers that are square here, they do damage the broom corn. They do jump into it and kind of leave a mar. Another thing that I use very consistently is a lighter. And this is where I've smashed the end of some things. I do singe the bottom of the twine on the handles. I do that. And I singe a couple other places too, which is why I also like these because I smash it. When I make my braids for the hanging loop on a broom, on any broom, I smash the ends with this. And so they're melted together. It's nylon. And if you make a mistake and get it on your hand, it's going to burn. And I've done it a few times. Whoops. Okay, for stitching, I had Travis, he hand forges these for me, and I had him make these needles to my specifications. This one is long and thin, and it's 8 inches, and it's got a single end. And this is what I stitch whisks with and other small items. And I use it a lot. I also use 2 of these. I put one on each side of a full-size broom. And then I know where my bottom of my twine is going to be when I'm wrapping the twine around the full size before I stitch with the double-ended needle. It's also called a bodkin. And that's this. And Travis also makes these for me. You'll notice that there's a length difference. There's a reason why I do that. I asked him to make me a double-ended needle that would go through the whole entire width of the broom because there's something I do on full size and I wanted it that way. So that's what this is. The reason I had him making these things is because the tools weren't available. I couldn't find them anywhere. I could find one of these and I do have it and I paid $25 for the needle. And it's about twice as wide and it's about 6 inches long. So I asked Travis to cut it to my length, again, 8 inches and thinner. I just wanted it thinner. I didn't want some big honking thing in my hands. I have small hands and right now I have dye on my hands because I'm working dye pots. So these are the 2 needles that I use. This is the double-ended that I use on full size. I don't use it on anything else. And then I have stitch clamps. When I first started making brooms, I bought a stitch clamp for, what was it, $20. And it was 2 rather flimsy pieces of wood. They were very thin. And they bent when I put them on my full size. They had eye screws on either side, so I had to put the clamp on the broom end and then screw those, and then it would bend in the middle, and that made me uncomfortable. Travis saw what I was working with. He's also a very skilled woods person and a woods craftsman. And that's actually how we kind of got into this business together. So he designed I asked him for an adjustable clamp. I wanted something adjustable. Unbeknownst to me, there had been something adjustable at Berea College, and I never knew that. They don't have them there now, but I asked him to do this. So he created a different kind of a broom clamp for me. These are really large thumb dials, some screw thingies. They're large enough for you to really get your hands on. This just slides along the bottom, and you can see that there's a lot of length on this bolt. But what's really cool and what I love about this is this side. And I've told him he needs to patent this because I'm positive this is nowhere out there. This swings down. So what I do when I put on when I'm going to stitch a broom, I put it on, and then I come over here, I adjust it to where I want to be here, and then I swing this up. It's hard to do like when you're just got it in your hands, and then I just can tighten it to whatever I want them to be. So this is a small one for the whisks that I stitch, and I haven't done any in a while, but I will be doing one later this week. I'm sure of it. So this one is $65 on my website. No, they're not inexpensive. I know that. This wood is maple and it doesn't bend. You can see they're thick enough not to ever bend, but it's this swing thing that I really like. I do not use this on a full size, and I asked him to make me a shorter one. It's not light, I will tell you, but it makes my work come out really clean. And the larger one is $75. And this is what I use on every full-size broom. And it's got the same swing action. And I use this thing a lot. The reason that this one is $65 and this one is $75, even though there's quite a bit of size difference, is because it's the same work. And so almost everything that I charge on things that Travis produces goes to Travis. So that's what those things are. The twine that I use two types of twine right now, and there's so many out there to use, but I have only gone so far at this point. I use La Espiga. It's called La Espiga, number 18. And I use that on almost all my brooms. I do use tarred twine, and I use the tarred twine on only full size. I'll do that on a shaker broom and also on the standard full size broom. And I use that underneath when I'm putting the brooms together and putting them on the handle. And then I will use this very colorful, very decorative nylon twine. I get this at a place called estambres.com. Estambres.com. On their website, all the colors are in Spanish. And so some of them I've looked up. And the reason I go to Estambres is because they're respectful. They get my order out very quickly. Their prices, I feel, are fair. At this point, I'm paying $7.50 for a spool, a cone like this. It has 197 yards. I get a lot out of it, and I have every single color that they have. There is another place you can go, and I did go there twice. And after an incident occurred, I realized that we weren't a good match. So I found someone else, and it's these guys. And I just love their colors. They ship extremely quickly, extremely quickly. They're just really good people. So I just wanted to let you know what I use. And the last thing I want to let you know is I use something called Farmer's Defense sleeves. I have a pair on now. Whenever I'm working with broomcorn, I use these. The reason is I'm allergic to broomcorn. I didn't know that when I first started. I just knew that my forearms were itching like mad. And a friend of mine was here. She said, "You need Farmer's Defense." And I'm like, "Well, what the heck is that?" And it turns out that there are these wonderful sleeves. I have 11 pair. This one is, I don't know, it's some kind of plant thing, but I have several pair because I use them a lot. And then I can put them in the washer. and I can then just hang them to dry. They're elastic, they're fitted. The size that I use is, I think it's small, medium, maybe it's in this one. Yeah, there it is. Mine is a small, medium, and they fit right up here, all the way up. And then down here, they have a thumb loop if I wanted, and I don't work with those on. But when I'm outside picking nettles, I do. And my roommate really doesn't mind getting stung by the nettles, and because it's good medicine, actually, it's really good for you. But after a while, it's too much for me, so I go ahead and I wear my sleeves. You can also pick raspberries, all sorts of stuff, but they're for gardening, so that stickers don't get you, they get your sleeves. These are UV resistant, I think. So anyway, I just want to let you know what I do use in the broom making world and what you do need. What do you need for a class? You need a foot brake, either or. I don't sell these. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever and get 1-inch doweling. It's quite long. It's like 8 feet, and then you cut it into 12-inch lengths. You can buy this, which is out of maple. Again, Travis is making a winding system for this, the Matilda foot brake. You're going to need a pair of snips, just something sharp. I use scissors that are serrated, again from Michael's, but they're serrated, and that's why I use them. They trim through the broom corn on the bottom of a whisk really sweet. You're going to need a trim knife of some sort. Again, I tried kitchen cleavers, not a good idea. You're going to need twine, but that comes in all my classes. And where's my lighter? Well, anyway, I do have one somewhere here, and I don't know where it's gotten off to. But, oh, there it is. You're going to need a lighter. And if my ways don't work for you, then don't use them, and maybe you don't want to use a lighter, but they just work for me. So that's it. I'm now going to go record a class so that we can get some classes rolling, but I wanted you to know what all the tools are, what they do, and what you absolutely need. If you never make a full-size broom, you don't need that. When you're stitching whisks and stuff like that, you need a needle somewhere of this. You can also go to Joann Fabrics or online and get an upholstery needle. They're really long and they're round, and I have used those. You can stitch a full size with this too. The reason I got this is because I can go in, out, in, out. It makes it a quicker process for me. So that's it. And I'll get this thing posted, and then you'll know a little bit about the tools. Thank you. Have a good day.